My name is Joe Moroka, and today I'll be talking a little bit about French culture. In many European countries, it's standard to greet somebody new or somebody that you already know by giving them a kiss on each cheek. And in France, it's called a la bise greeting. And here's an example of this.
Once again. And voilà.
And in America, kisses are viewed very differently. So that type of greeting could be could make them pretty uncomfortable. And another way that could make it more uncomfortable is that in France, it's not just males and females doing this type of greeting. It is whoever. It's anybody new. It doesn't matter what gender or sex you are. So some Americans, again, view gender roles very differently, and that could make them even more uncomfortable. So in my example, a man named David has heard a lot about France. He has always wanted to go, but he's pretty busy. But he finally has time to visit by himself, and he doesn't not really have time to do a lot of research. So he hires a tour guide named Gabriel, and so he flies to Paris by himself. And on the first day, he meets Gabriel, and Gabriel leans in and tries to give him a kiss on each cheek. And David backs up and he's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And Gabriel's like, I'm just greeting you. That's what we do here. And David says, well, I'm not French and I don't like you like that, so don't do that around me. And Gabriel says, oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Um, but don't be surprised if someone else tries to greet you like that while you're here, because that's what we do. So in this example, David's using a dominating substantive style because he's not changing his ways at all, and he's making himself win and not compromising whatsoever to Gabriel's beliefs or how he's acting. And then David's also using a dissociative affective style because he's dissociating him from French culture, even though he is there and wants to learn about it. He's still dissociating himself and doesn't want to actually act upon that culture. So a better way to approach this conflict, in my opinion, would be to use a compromising substantive style because David is uncomfortable and that's okay. That makes a lot of sense. But instead of getting upset, he could have still backed up and then said, "Oh, I'm sorry, like that caught me off guard." Um, And then he could have used an associative affective style by asking a little bit about French culture, like, well, what is that? Is that normal here? What do you guys call that type of greeting? And little more things like where'd you learn that type of thing? And then Gabriel would feel a lot more comfortable and not it wouldn't be awkward the rest of the day touring him around Paris. So I think that would definitely help a lot more, and it would basically make the conflict not even there. It would be like a 5 second thing of him just backing up, being a little uncomfortable, and then it'll be totally okay. And learning how to use strategies like this really just comes down to making each person comfortable and not overreacting. I think staying right in the middle and um, being a little open-minded really helps resolve strategies, and things like this are really important to learn about norms and everything. So whenever you're visiting new countries, I now know that it is very important to do a little bit of research at least to know something about how people in that country function.